Good morning, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us on the Morning Brunch. I'm Sheridan Hertig.
And I'm Nathan Kitchens.
And here's what's on the menu for today's brunch. First, we're starting off with some local stories that are on our plates this morning. Then we have some trending stories for you from across the country.
And then we'll close things out with a final look at your forecast in our last bite.
All right, well, first we'll go ahead and jump into what is on my plate today. For those of you who, of course, tune into the Morning Brunch from the comfort of your own home, in front of your TV, you may not know the history of the electronic appliance, or that it just turned 100 on Monday. Actually, same birthday as mine, which is pretty cool.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, right. John Logie Baird. He was a businessman, but above all, an inventor. On January 26, 1926, 74 years before Sheridan Hertig was born, he gave the first public demonstration of what would become known as the first television at his Soho laboratory on Frith Street in London. Unlike the electronic systems that would follow, Baird's televisor was mechanical. Yeah, a lot of things have changed since when it comes to the TV, but ultimately this is something that I just think is so interesting. We don't think about who invented the products that we use every single day. We're just glad that we have them. And if we didn't, we'd be struggling without them as well. You know, obviously, like when my mom was a kid or my grandma was alive, my grandpa was alive, they grew up without television. My mom had television, but it was like 3 channels. And so now being able to have, I don't know, more than 100 channels at a time, anytime that we want to turn on the TV is insane. We also have obviously all of the streaming services. It seems like we have everything at the tip of our fingers, and we never recognize what we have until it's gone. So I think it's important that we just make sure that we're paying attention to who is generating and creating inventions like the television or our phones or whatever it may be, computers, because without them, life would be a lot more difficult. I can't even get from like point A to point B without my phone. So.
Yeah, all these really smart people, these inventors really revolutionized our world. It's funny because I hear my mom talk about, you know, TV and how that's changed over the years. Like when she was growing up, they had a TV, I believe, but she talks about that she had this friend who was from a wealthier family, and she had a color TV. I think my mom was in middle or high school at the time, and she talks about like she couldn't believe it. Like she'd go to her house and the TV had color, and that was huge for that time, you know, being in the 60s, or I think late 60s probably at this point. But you know, it's crazy how things have changed. I know my grandma would talk about how, like, you know, I don't think they had a TV growing up, but I remember she talked about like that she had a friend who had a TV when she was maybe like in her teens, and they just thought it was the craziest thing in the world, you know. And it's so funny when you think about how things were back then and then the technology we have today. The same grandmother who, you know, was born just after the TV was invented is now using her cell phone, and she's better at it than I am sometimes when it comes to texting and all that. So
well, also to think like televisions back then, there was no remote. You had a dial. You had to go. You had to get up, go over to your TV, and flip the channel. That sounds like so much work. And now you obviously have, and that was only what, like 3 channels?
Like, yeah, you're lucky.
And now obviously you have so many more. You have a remote. You could probably do it with your phone if you have a smart TV. So yeah, things have changed quite a bit in the last few years, I would say.
Absolutely. Well, on my plate today, a Peoria school showed out for one of their teachers in a fashionable way yesterday. Andrew C., a 5th grade teacher at Reservoir Gifted Academy, was in a car accident just more than a week ago. And after families reached out to the school administration wanting to know how to support him, the school's principal, along with other faculty, arranged a day for the kids to have a Disney day. Mr. C loves Disney, so students were able to switch out of their uniforms and put on something Disney themed. School administration had a fundraising goal of $1,000 and have actually raised more than $3,000. This story stuck out to me because obviously going through something like a car accident is a very traumatic time, very scary, and I love the fact that the school showed up for him, and they showed the fact that he's cared for and that they love him. You know, the faculty there, the students wanted to show their love for him, so they decided to get into their Disney shirts and whatnot. And kids are always looking for a chance to not be in their uniform, you know. It's hard enough as teachers trying to keep them in dress code, so having a day where they can get out of dress code is so much fun. But to know they're making a faculty member feel so much better during what is a difficult time. Bringing some joy to him, I'm sure, is a wonderful thing. And it's great that they raised way over the goal money for him. So just a wonderful story.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, when I was growing up, there was part of me when I was in high school that was like, would I ever want to be a teacher? Only because aside from knowing that you're educating the next generation of America or the future leaders of America, you're also rallied around with a community that you wouldn't have if you're not a teacher or if you're not in school. You know, obviously we're only in school for how many years of our lives, and then we go on, we move on, and we do other things. But as a teacher, you still get to relive what it was like being in school, but also there's such a strong community when it comes to, you know, middle school, high school, whatever that may be, elementary school. And a lot of people have so much pride in the school that they went to.
Oh, absolutely.
So yeah, I just think that as a teacher, it's very cool to see that he had so many students, obviously, and the entire faculty rallying around him and making sure that not only are they raising money for him, but that they're there to support him and be there for him.
Yeah, it's very important. And my mom's a teacher, and she could, you know, attest to that, the fact that it is like a community. Everybody kind of shows up for each other, and, you know, students sometimes maybe they are not the best students at school, but it's funny because a lot of times the students who were maybe some who would cause some trouble at times, as they get older, maybe they graduate, they go to college, they get a job, and then years later, my mom will talk about that, you know, she'll hear from them, you know, and they'll
say, "Oh, you're my favorite teacher."
You're my favorite teacher. It's like, yeah, right. But you know, they'll still like show up to school and just visit, you know, randomly to just kind of check in, and you know, it'd be cool, you know, being a teacher and having students who are now in their 30s and 40s who you once taught when they were in like 5th grade, and seeing them being successful is a great thing. But just knowing that your lifelong, you know, education, you know, it's not just that one time in your life and their life, but you can have an impact that actually has ripple effects through the rest of their life and shapes their career. So being a teacher is pretty cool. I don't know if I could handle the stress of it though, because being around kids is a lot. I know my mom does like high school math. I don't know how she does it. It sounds horrible. And I mean, I know some of the students are just really hard to deal with because they don't want to do their work. They're on their TikTok all day and not listening to what the teacher's trying to teach. So I don't know. I think today the attention spans are just gone. It's just out the window compared to what it was when I was in school. So
absolutely, I could not. Despite thinking for like a minute, maybe I'd want to be a teacher, that thought came and went very quickly. I could not imagine teaching this generation. I think they're very, very smart and technologically advanced in a way that us and the people who are older than us will never get there.
Absolutely.
So kudos on them for that. But because of that technology, I mean, even me, like, I'm like, oh, I need to check my phone every commercial break. Like, what's going on? What am I missing out on? So yeah, I just could not imagine having to deal with children.
Yep, you do get a summer break, so.
Yeah, there's that. All right, so today, we actually talked about this on the morning show earlier. Today's National Lego Day. So what is your favorite memory of either playing with Legos or any other toy growing up?
Yeah, I love Legos, that's for sure. I would always try to build, like, when I was a kid, I always tried to build like a skyscraper, and I was pretty good at it. I always try to create like the Indianapolis skyline. And if it wasn't Legos, it was Hot Wheels. I had like a road carpet, and I would pretend I was driving, and I was an amazing driver. But I still have all my Hot Wheels cars at my parents' house in like a shoebox, and they still look really good. Another toy I loved was the Bop It toy, you know, where you bop it, twist it, pull it, you know. I was really good at that.
Yeah.
So.
I never had a Bop It, but my cousins did, and so whenever I would go over to their house, I would love playing with the Bop It. That was like, you could just spend hours just playing with the Bop It.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, no, I loved Legos. I think I like them more, though, as an adult, honestly.
Okay.
Just because I love putting things together, and it's a more simple way to put things together than, you know, having to put together furniture or things that break.
Goodness gracious, yeah.
Because I do enjoy doing that, too, but that's a lot more time consuming and less enjoyable than Legos. But with that being said, putting things together, I always did Lincoln Logs.
Okay, solid. I had Lincoln Logs too.
Yeah, and they had, you know, papers that came with it, just kind of like how they do with Legos. They would have like a step-by-step sheet on how to build your cabin or whatever. Right. And so I loved doing that growing up. I'm trying to think, you know, we had like things that we put together. We had like those, you were talking about this earlier on the morning show, that your nieces and nephews
Like
have this, the
these
magnetic
squares that you can stack together and build stuff.
Yeah,
those
we
are really
had those too.
Yeah.
Those were fun. But aside from that, maybe like Etch-a-Sketch.
Oh yes, I love those. So fun.
Yeah, those were fun. And I don't know, any like stretchy toys.
Mr. Potato Head. I forgot about that. I always loved Mr. Potato Head. Yes.
That's crazy. I had a Mr. Potato Head too, and Barbies, of course, which you just messed with your sisters.
Yes, there's several headless Barbies. I will say that.
These poor girls.
And
my
then you'll just pull out the drawer in the garage, and there's just random Barbie heads.
It's just like Nathan.
Just a head.
Oh my God. But yeah, it's nice to be able to reminisce on the things that we played with when we were younger.
Childhood is too short.
Absolutely. So make sure you think about it, or even play with some toys, because why not? It's still fun.
You got to still be a child sometimes.
Absolutely.
Life's too hard.
That part. All right, well, we have a national day to talk about when we come back from the break, so do not go anywhere. Welcome back. Today is National Blueberry Pancake Day. So, Nathan, how do you feel about pancakes? Or what is your favorite breakfast food?
Yeah, so I love pancakes. I typically just like the plain ones, though. I've tried blueberry pancakes. Not a huge fan.
That's okay. So I know you don't put syrup on your pancakes.
I really don't, no.
So it's crazy that you don't even like have anything in them.
Yeah, I'll have butter, of course.
Okay, so you just
I have to add some butter, but even just plain are really good, as long as they're like really fluffy pancakes. So typically, like my go-to will be like, I love even just like the frozen Eggos. You can't go wrong with those.
That's true.
Pop them in a microwave and they're really good. But I do like McDonald's. Their hotcakes are pretty solid.
They are good. Do you have like a breakfast place that you actually go and sit down at that the pancakes you can't resist?
You know, it's funny because Steak and Shake used to have breakfast.
Really?
Did they not? Yeah, I mean, I guess all locations did. They did in Indiana at least until COVID. And their pancakes I thought were the best of anywhere.
Interesting.
Like we would go there like every Saturday. It became our tradition. Get the pancakes, a little side of bacon. We always had like the nicest waiters there, and they would have like the all-you-can-eat. So I would just keep eating and eating. So. And I was back at the time when I could eat and not gain weight, but now
what a time
I
to
can't
be
really
alive.
do the same thing now. But their pancakes were so good. I don't know what it was different about them. Cracker Barrels are really good.
They don't have chocolate chips though.
They don't, man. What a bummer. But other than that, if it's not pancakes, my go-to breakfast item usually is biscuits and gravy. I just love it. Pretty much anywhere I go, biscuits and gravy. Even McDonald's, in Indiana at least, they have biscuits and gravy. They don't here for some reason. I was surprised by that. But Dairy Queen I talked about, they have biscuits and gravy. The ones that have breakfast in Indiana, they're really, really good. Their gravy's just different. I don't know what it is, but it's just a really good flavor, and their biscuits are really buttery. And of course, Hardee's. Theirs is really good too. So
Hardee's, the picture of Hardee's, and mind you, like I didn't start liking biscuits and gravy until probably like a few months ago.
Yeah.
But the picture of their biscuits and gravy looks really good.
Oh, it is. It is really good.
Yeah, I'll have to try it one day, or maybe not try it because I'll enjoy it too much. But pancakes wise, I gotta have chocolate chip pancakes.
Okay.
Although blueberry pancakes are pretty decent. With that being said, my favorite place to go to for pancakes is IHOP. Unfortunately, the one here closed, but the employees weren't that good.
Yeah, I forgot about IHOP. Yes, I've had their pancakes one time.
Just one time?
Just one time, yeah.
They are my favorite all-time pancakes, and my husband, he grew up like hating IHOP, and on Wednesdays, kids eat free at IHOP. So I told him when we have kids one day, every Wednesday night, I'm bringing them to IHOP, and you could just stay home. You're not coming with.
Just stay home.
Yeah, I'm having a kids night only every Wednesday.
It's a great way to connect with your kids.
Yeah, very true. And at the IHOP that I have back at home, they used to have a clown, a guy who would dress up as a clown, and he would come by and he would bring balloons to you.
That's fun.
Yeah. So IHOP, and then here, Original Pancake House. Their pancakes are really good. And also Childers. Childers pancakes are really, really good.
Okay, and I forgot about this too. Shoney's has really good pancakes. I don't think there's hardly any Shoney's anymore. They've all like shut down. There's still some in the South. I saw them when we went to Tennessee, but we used to go to Shoney's a lot on Sundays after church, and their pancakes were so good.
Yeah, listen, as long as you put chocolate chips in pancakes for me, I'll be pretty satisfied. But we have another story to move on to. A new study taking a look at which jobs are the most AI resistant. Resume Now analyzed 3 key human skills: adaptability, stress tolerance, and self-control. The idea is that the more pressure, judgment, and emotional control a job requires, the harder it is for AI to take it over. At the top of the list, why is there a pronouncer for that? Nurse anesthetists.
Anesthesist?
It's anesthetists.
Okay.
Yeah, emergency doctors, judges, general surgeons, and commercial pilots. Healthcare and aviation dominate the rankings, where split-second decisions are everything. The website also recently looked at the best AI-resistant entry-level jobs and found dental hygienist to be #1. I think it's really interesting that we're talking about the needing to make a decision, very, very quick. I was talking about with our director earlier how my Alexa is horrible, and she never knows the answer to anything. She can never help with any question I have.
No help at
I'll
all.
ask her to turn the lights on. She doesn't turn the lights on, or she'll be like, I don't know which lights you're talking about.
I don't know.
I'm like, Alexa, you can't make any decisions ever. You can't answer any of my questions. So, yeah, I think those jobs are pretty important to not have AI involved.
Yeah, definitely. I don't want my surgeon using AI.
Yeah, like what body part is this, Alexa?
But I mean, it's weird because it is something to kind of keep in mind now when kids are looking for their careers. Like, what's a job that will not be taken over by AI and I'll lose my job in a few years? I don't want to go to college and get a degree and spend all this money and then just for AI to kind of take it over and have to do something else. I would say like skilled trades are probably a really good thing to do because
Very true.
AI is not going to replace your plumber or your mechanic for your car. And things like that, I think, or HVAC, one of those kind of things. AI is not going to ever, I don't think, take over stuff like that.
Yeah.
AI is like, you need some like routine job that it can manage. It can't manage super unexpected situations that happen or the emotional components.
That part, there's a lot of things that I feel like we need a human touch. There are some times where I go to, like, let's say a fast food restaurant, and there's an employee who's just not nice for no reason, and I'm like, we need a better human touch. Okay, we just need like a nicer person to come in. Maybe AI could be nice on that front. I don't know, but either way, I'd prefer always talking to a human. What I was going to say is I've even seen some news clips like fake news clips of AI being a news reporter and like reporting on the scene or reporting at the desk, and I'm just like, that feels so wrong, and somebody out there is watching, not knowing that it's AI.
Yeah.
My husband's mom, so my mother-in-law, she used to send us videos and be like, "Whoa, look at this! This is so cool." And I'd have to tell her, this is AI, and she'd be like, "No, it's not."
My grandma does the same thing. She will see videos all the time, and she thinks they're real, and I'm like, sorry, that's AI.
I'm like, bunnies do not jump on trampolines together.
Yeah, it's always these animal videos doing the craziest things, and it's clearly AI. It's just taken over the world by storm, and like all these advertisements now of people, they look pretty legitimate until you look really closely at the details, and you can tell that it's not actually it's artificial intelligence.
Yeah. Look at the hands. That's always a good.
The way the mouth and the voice, are they synced just right? So
yeah. Anyways.
All right, well, we've got some more relationship issues from our friends online. A man posted this dilemma. He wrote, "I need advice. My wife is spending a lot of time with her best friend lately. Her best friend just got divorced, and now every time my wife comes home from a girls' night out, she's angry at me, and she picks a fight and nitpicks on me. Little things like my beard or that I haven't put laundry away. This stuff was never an issue before. I shook it off the first few times, but she's getting worse with these little attacks. I'm over it. We've gotten into several fights these past few months, and they've only started after her friend's divorce. I think the best friend is trying to turn her against me. Do I say something to the friend, or am I being paranoid?"
I mean, I think it's a little bit of both. I think maybe your wife didn't recognize those issues that are issues. I think you are in a partnership, and so it is not on one person to do all the housework. And make sure, the house is clean and that everything's getting done. That is why it's a partnership, that's on both people. And I think she's probably just recognizing these things because obviously her friend got divorced and her friend is bringing up, this is why I divorced my ex, and these are all the issues that I was dealing with, and I felt like I couldn't do it anymore. And now she's recognizing I'm being treated like that too. So I want to make sure that my husband is now doing all those things so we don't end up divorced.
Exactly.
There's a way to bring things up. Maybe say, hey, listen, my best friend just got divorced. These are the issues she's bringing up. I'm seeing that a little bit in our relationship.
Yeah.
Let's fix these things while we can, and move forward and, move positively forward together.
Yes, so try to communicate that in a civil manner that doesn't turn into just a big blow up.
Exactly.
Because it is 50-50 in a relationship. And I know it's not like one size fits all, but you want to make sure you're doing your part, kind of reanalyze yourself and make sure that maybe you probably should put away the laundry if you're the husband, so just saying.
Yeah, no, everybody's got to help out.
Yeah.
It's not just one person who lives in the house. It's multiple people. So you got to help out where you can. But we do have our last bite after the break.
Yes.
Nathan's going to give us a look at the very, very cold weather. So don't go anywhere.
Welcome back as we come to a close. Here's your last bite, starting, of course, with the joke of the day. Why did the restaurant hire a pig? He made really good bacon.
Love a good piece of bacon.
Oh, man. Can't ever go wrong with some good old bacon.
Yeah, that would be really nice right now with this weather.
Yes.
Nice warm piece of bacon.
Yes, and make sure it's crisp, too. Just a little crisp. And maybe just a little touch of fat still on it,
That'd be
too.
nice.
So it's got to be just right. Our weather outside right now, partly sunny, and it's still cold. Our temperature right now, 13 degrees. We'll see a high today up to 21 degrees with mostly sunny skies. So at least we've got the sunshine for us today. As we look at that extended forecast, we'll see a low of 2 degrees tonight, a high of only 17 tomorrow. So we're getting even colder for the end of the week. Might see a few flurries on Friday with a high of 16, 20 on Saturday. But we are looking at a gradual warming trend next week. Next week does not look anywhere as brutal as the weather we're dealing with right now. By Tuesday, we're up to 32. And we may even go above freezing later next week.
Wow, above freezing.
Springtime is coming.
How exciting.
I know.
Yeah,
little baby steps towards spring.
And soon you'll get to see if Gertie sees her shadow.
I know. That's coming up on Monday, so.
Yeah. Crazy. The year's already flying by. And so did the show, because that's all the time we have this morning.
No, it's crazy. Well, have a great day.
For breaking news and weather updates 24/7, log on to CIProud.com and download the free CI Proud to Go mobile app.